Denise,
Yes,
thank you for joining us. You,
welcome.
you have a semi-unique issue. By,
Semi-unique?
yeah, semi-unique in that there's lots of people that have, let's call it the fear of public speaking,
Mm-hmm.
which you deal with, but you
Mm-hmm.
also get very red in the face. And I
Yes.
understand other parts of your body as well.
Yes.
Okay. When you're
Here on the chest.
when you're in the public, and I'm
It's
looking
not
at,
even in public. Even speaking to you on the phone, suddenly I become all red. I'm not
yeah,
not much in public here.
yeah, okay. But I can see the red right now in your cheeks.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if that was just the lighting going on or something like that, but right now that redness
Yeah.
is there. And so
Exactly.
if I recall the email that you sent to me, this is particularly, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is
Yeah.
particularly active if you're saying something good about yourself. Do I remember that right?
Well, it might. I'm not too sure about this thing. Is it particularly? It happens if I say something good, or if I get good attention on myself. You know,
Oh, okay.
people
Yeah.
something like this.
So you're getting good attention right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody nice with me who gives me attention.
Yes.
If you
Okay.
were very mean with me, I don't know if I would become so red.
Well,
But
maybe that's the way to fix it. I could just be really mean, and then you won't be red
yes.
anymore. Well,
I guess I would be red also. I might
okay.
be red also.
What we're go- what we're going to try to do here is to explore some things, use
Uh-huh.
open doors for you, give you some ideas where you and others who might be interested in this
Yeah.
uh, could use to assist them in their parallels to whatever you're
Hmm.
dealing with here. Okay.
Okay.
So one of the standard questions I would ask is when's the first time you remember this occurring?
I don't know. This is the thing with this. I really don't know. Uh, I think it didn't come that young. I think it has been getting worse since, I don't know. I'm very bad with time, very, very bad. Not a good help here. But I think it has been getting more. And I've been starting to sing public, not as a professional, but, for fun and with people. And this was very, very strong there when I would become very, very red.
When you were
So I don't
singing.
singing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something about showing my talents or showing something beautiful or showing something good or even wanting to show it.
Okay. Well, typically, and this may not be your case, but
Mm.
typically, something like this starts like in childhood.
Yes.
There's some event in childhood. I'm going to make this up for a minute.
Mm.
A child is in a school play and forgets her lines, and this audience laughs at her, and from that
Mhm.
point forward, she has some kind of an issue, and so
Yes.
on. But
Yes.
you're not remembering anything like that.
Well, I remember some things where I made a mistake in front of people. I was ashamed once. I remember being ashamed, but I don't remember becoming red. And uh, I have this memory though of my mother was very narcissistic, and if I wanted to appear, just be seen somewhere or appear,
Yeah.
I know she would project something bad on me.
Okay. All right.
I was a bad person, or I was always like wanting to show off, or she was always, making me feel almost ashamed to want to appear somehow.
Okay. And is there any kind of a phrase you can remember she would use?
Uh, it was more of a look. Uh,
More of a look. What,
Yeah, I can feel it now.
what kind of a look?
What they say, like a dirty look.
Well, I don't know what that is, but teach me how to do it, would you?
Well, I don't know. It's hatred. Actually, it's hatred. It's just looking at me with hatred and contempt. And it was really, I would receive it not verbally a lot.
Okay.
It was more like this, I better disappear or not go there.
Okay. And why do you think she would have contempt or hatred?
I think she was not feeling good about herself for sure.
Well,
This I understand now.
that's
But
the right answer, dear.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I think she was just jealous. She
Yeah,
was
well,
jealous of me having my whole life, me being in front of me. She ruined her own. My mother was a failed star. She should have been a star somewhere.
I see.
She was very, very seductive and star-like and artistic and crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. Now, we never know for sure
yeah,
exactly what contributes to what, but
yes.
this seems to me to be at least a contributor
Mm-hmm.
to this feeling because you can easily enough when you're in the public eye or when somebody is being nice to you,
Mm,
replay some version of that
yeah,
and get some self-talk that says something like, I'm not worthy of this.
yeah,
There's a penalty if I really do
yes,
well because I'm going to get that hateful look from mother again.
yeah.
Right?
Something is dangerous here.
Yes. All of which is illogical. Am I
Yes.
correct? It's illogical. But
Okay.
the emotional response is what you're talking about, and it shows
Yeah,
up in red face
yeah,
and so on.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. Pressure. I can feel some pressure.
Okay. So a good place to start here, and this is, by the way, we might get lucky and we might just do this one thing, and all of a sudden everything just collapses. You never have it again. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh, Not likely, but it's a good place to start. Okay,
Okay.
and
Yes.
it could happen. Okay, so the thing to do is let's tune in. Let's remember a
Mm-hmm.
specific event, a specific time when your mother that really stands out for you, that your mother gave you that hateful look. Can you recall it now?
It's very hard for me. Very. I have one memory, but it was not so much as I was doing something good because actually I think I was just crying and somehow she just said something like, you have no reason to cry, don't cry, push me aside and I shouldn't even exist somewhere.
Okay.
So, but I think it's much more an atmosphere that was always there and very, very under things.
Okay. I understand the atmosphere is there, and it's a
Yes, overall.
fairly a consistent thing that happened
Yeah.
perhaps daily,
Yes.
all during childhood and so on.
Yeah.
So
I
that
have a memory of something a little older. I was trying to find something younger, but I have a memory of something when I was older, maybe 18, and she was in the hospital. And I laugh now because it's so crazy. But she was in her bed and she was really talking to me and saying how I had no heart and I was terrible and blah, blah, blah. And with a lot of charge. And then she turned her look to the woman in the bed in front of her. And there was so much hatred for the woman. And she started talking badly about the woman. So I have this thing of being very mixed up also about,
all right.
you know,
If you will, just as a test,
yes.
close your eyes. Go back to that event where you saw that hatred look.
Mm-hmm.
Vividly imagine it.
Yeah.
And tell me on a scale of 0 to 10 how intense you get now.
What I get?
How intense?
I just feel some sadness. And My jaw is shaking.
Your jaw is shaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fear.
Okay. I'm hearing tears, am I not?
Yeah.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Yeah.
Were you at a 10?
I would say an 8 or
Okay.
7.
All right. All right. What about that caused the 7 or 8?
It's fear. There's some fear. It's like a killing.
Like something's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
She's zeroing in. She's got hatred eyes at somebody else.
Yeah.
But you're afraid it's going to happen to you. And that's because you've had that kind of feeling before.
Yeah.
Many times. So, it may be coming again. Do I have it right?
Yeah.
All right.
And now you don't even think about it. It just gets into my body somehow.
Yeah. Okay. And here we are all these years later.
Yeah.
You can spend a moment or two vividly imagining it, and the next thing you know, your jaw is shaking and you're in tears.
Yeah.
So it may not be the issue or the specific event, but it's certainly a specific event that's worthwhile here. Okay. So if this event was a movie, what title would you give the movie?
Dirty Look.
Dirty Look. Okay. And I'm gathering here the crescendo. Like most of these movies have a little emotional crescendo in them. And so I'm gathering at this point that very look that you saw gave you this fear response.
Yes.
And it lasted a second or two or something. But I have that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what we want to zero in on. Okay.
Yeah.
So you are familiar with EFT and the tapping points,
yes,
are you?
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
tap along with me, okay?
Okay.
And say, even though I have this dirty look movie.
Even though I have this dirty look movie.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
All right, tap at the top of the head, this dirty look movie.
This dirty look movie.
Dirty look movie.
This dirty look movie.
This dirty look movie.
Dirty look movie.
All right.
Feels better.
Well,
Feels
okay.
better already.
You did this little telltale sigh, and that's a sign of emotional relaxation.
Relief. Yes.
Intuitively, however, I'd like to do a little bit more on it before we actually test it and have you go back do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna do another round on this. A very simple, straight at it kind of round, and then we'll test, see what happens, okay?
Okay.
So even though I still have some of this dirty look movie.
Remaining dirty look movie fear. Remaining dirty look movie fear. Remaining dirty look movie fear. Remaining dirty look movie fear.
Okay. Now, if you would, do what you did a few minutes ago, and that is close your eyes, vividly imagine this process, and tell me what number you get to.
4.
A 4. Okay, how about the jaw? Is that still shaking?
It's still shaking.
Shaking as much or less?
It's as much.
It's still as much. Okay. All right. What we're gonna do at the moment is I want to aim EFT at the shaking jaw.
Okay.
Because the shaking jaw appears to be linked to the emotional issue. Sometimes when we deal with the physical issue, the emotional issue behind it starts collapsing, and maybe collapsing in a way that is possibly even deeper than something that we could go try to find detective-wise, okay? So, tap with me. Even though I have this shaking jaw.
Shaking jaw. Shaking jaw. Shaking jaw.
Okay. Close the eyes. Close the eyes. Go on back into it. Tell me how the jaw is doing.
Yeah, the jaw's better.
Well, let's get into it. Get into it mentally. Go ahead. Get into it. Try to make your jaw hurt. or shake?
No, it's not.
Okay. How are you doing on the issue itself overall, on the fear response to the Dirty Look movie?
Uh, Feels better. I feel energy flowing in my body.
Well,
That feels good.
all right. We're going to do another little test here, okay? Close your eyes, and this time when I say vividly imagine, I mean I want you to literally try to get yourself upset. That is, exaggerate the sights, the sounds, the feelings, and all of that. We're looking for what's left over. So try to do that and tell me what happens.
I could feel my jaw shake a little bit. I could make it shake. But the feeling is not so scary, and there's no tears.
Is it a 1 or 2, the jaw?
1.5.
Well, all right. Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to be very precise.
That's listen, you're talking to an engineer. I get it, okay?
Okay.
Tap with me.
Okay.
Even though I still have some of this shaking jaw fear.
Even though I still have some of this shaking jaw fear.
And by the way, for those listening in, the reason I put that together was I am trying verbally to put together the fear response with that Dirty Look movie with the shaking jaw.
Yeah.
Don't always have to do it, but it's a nice little touch if we can. So let's try it again.
Yes.
Even though I still have some of this shaking jaw fear.
Remaining shaking jaw fear. Remaining shaking jaw fear. I think of the film Jaw, Remaining shaking jaw fear. I keep seeing this fish, how do you call it? The big jaw fish.
Oh, Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh, the big shark.
Shark.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And it's funny, while you were talking, I was doing it, I was feeling, receiving something good was scary. Receiving something good, the look or your good, your attention,
So the self-talk you had while doing that was receiving good is scary.
It is dangerous.
Is dangerous.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can feel my jaw again.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can feel the fear.
Okay. However, what I'm curious about now is because you may have done what we call shifted aspects.
Okay.
Because that particular Dirty Look movie thing doesn't seem to get to you so much, but you were talking about some self-talk that came in that said receiving something good about yourself is dangerous.
Yes.
I said that right?
Yes.
Does that bring up a different specific event?
I cannot remember. I cannot.
Okay. All right. Better as a general rule to get down to the specific event. But let's, for the moment, just go on that perception, okay?
Yeah.
It's kind of general.
Yeah.
But since we don't have a specific event at the moment, we can go after it. Maybe a specific event will show up, whatever, but it's worth going after, okay? So tap with me. Let's see, what are these words? The words would be, even though if I receive good, it is dangerous.
Even though if I receive good, it is dangerous.
Okay, now what I'm going to start doing now is start rambling a little bit. This is some of the more advanced stuff in EFT. And what I'm doing is I'm just using my intuition, and words are just going to come flow. Some will fit. That's great. Some may not. So correct my words whenever appropriate. Okay.
Okay.
I call this the garbage and the gold. Some of it's garbage, but we're looking for a little bit of gold. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Even though.
Even though.
Let me see. Even though receiving there's something dangerous about receiving.
Even though there's something dangerous about receiving.
I know logically that's garbage.
I know logically that's garbage.
That's a true statement?
Yes.
I would love to receive good all day long.
Oh, I'd love to receive good all day long.
And who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
I mean, people break their humps to be movie stars so they can get good things all day long, right?
Yes. People break their hearts to get good. What did you say? I don't remember the sentence.
To receive good all the time.
Good all the time. Yes, yeah. Yes.
They want to become movie stars and athletes and
anything.
And be famous. Yes. And be famous and all of that. Okay.
Famous and have recognition and love and blah, blah, blah.
And all of that is good.
And all of that is very good.
I know that logically.
Yes, I know that logically.
But emotionally. I have a different response.
I have a different response.
Okay. My illogical emotional response.
My illogical emotional response.
Now, about receiving something good.
About receiving something good.
I would love to receive something good.
I would love to receive something good.
And really feel good about it.
And really feel safe and good about it.
But I feel crappy.
I feel crappy.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Actually, I do.
Actually, I do.
Because it's been embedded from childhood.
Because it's been embedded from childhood.
And even though I'm like any other child.
Even though I'm like any other child.
Who gets the same message over and over and over again.
Who gets the same message over and over and over again.
Receiving is dangerous.
Receiving is dangerous.
Receiving good is dangerous.
Receiving good is dangerous.
After a while, I believe it.
After a while, I believe it.
Any young child would do that.
Any young child would do that.
And I happen to be listening. Go ahead.
And I happen to be listening.
To my own childhood.
My own childhood.
I'm taking the advice.
I'm taking the advice.
Of a little bitty girl.
Of a little what?
Little bitty girl.
Bitty? What's bitty?
Small.
Oh, a little bitty.
Of a young girl.
Yes.
Of a young girl. I wouldn't do that as an adult.
I wouldn't do that as an adult.
But I'm doing it anyway.
I'm doing it anyway.
Because little Denise. Seems to be in charge here.
Seems to be in charge here.
Am I saying this correctly?
Yeah, it's. I'm following. It's not. How would I say it?
It's not landing perfectly. There's something.
No.
It's not. It's on the target, but not on the bullseye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good feedback. We always have to know that. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go back to what was appropriate there. The fact that receiving good is dangerous, that's an illogical thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's the issue here is an emotional response.
Yes.
To something that is illogical.
Yes.
Okay. Even though I have an emotional response.
Even though I have an emotional response.
To something that's illogical.
To something that's illogical.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
That feels good. I deeply and completely accept myself. Yeah.
Receiving good is dangerous.
Receiving good is dangerous.
Receiving good is really dangerous.
Receiving good is really dangerous.
Maybe even it's life-threatening.
Maybe even it's life-threatening.
I'm exaggerating on purpose, okay?
Well, I'm not sure it is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I always felt my mother was dying. She was very, very dramatic.
Yes, okay.
She was always dying somewhere.
Okay.
So.
And I'm afraid mother might die.
I'm afraid my mother might die.
Has she died already?
Yes, thank you.
And she died anyway.
And she died anyway.
And here I am with this emotional response.
And here I am with this emotional response.
Time for it to go away.
Time for it to go away.
All right.
What happens if you get it in your adult life?
What happens if you get what?
The same kind. I remember the somebody I knew. And I went to meet her. She was a musician, and she was sitting with a musician. So I sat there, and I tried to, at one point we were talking together, and I talked, and she sent me the same kind of dirty look. It was amazing.
Oh, okay. All right. To me, although I wasn't there at the time,
Yeah.
when you got that dirty look from her,
Yeah.
you were replaying
Yeah.
the dirty look from Mother of a long time ago, and
Yes.
that's why it got you. If she turned around and gave me that dirty look, and I don't have the same background,
yes.
I'd go, "What's that?"
But yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
you're
what's
right.
with you, lady?
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's not your response. So
No.
what we need to do is as much as we can collapse this thing so that when the dirty looks come,
It doesn't get to me.
they don't put up the other thing.
Okay, good.
Okay, so right now, as a test, what I'd like to have you do is in a moment, not now, in a moment, would be to close your eyes and vividly imagine not the dirty look movie, but I want you to make up the most disastrous, dirty look from your mother's eye you can imagine. I want her to stare right through you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Try that as a test and tell me what number you get to. Go ahead.
Okay. I get a 3.
You get a 3. Okay.
Yeah.
How about the jaw?
It starts shaking a little bit, less than before, but it's still there.
Is that how you know it's a 3, or is there something else in your body that says it's a 3?
Something else. I can feel this whole state of being and sadness coming up.
A state of being and sadness. Okay.
Yeah, physical something. I don't know how to describe it, and some sadness.
Okay. That could be coming from a very generalized form of this, okay, which means there's more specific events to get to and all of that. But for the moment, since we only have so much time here, what I want to do is zero in on that. So give me the words again. It's what kind of a sadness? An overall? Give me the words.
I can feel there's sadness, and there's, how would I say it? It's something in my body. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, let's just call it the sadness in your body. Would that do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though I have this dirty look, sadness in my body.
Yeah, and the words that come somewhere is I shouldn't be there.
And I shouldn't be there.
No. Yeah, that brings it. Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't be here.
Even though I shouldn't be here.
Even though I shouldn't be here.
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
All right. I shouldn't be here.
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 Keep going.
I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here.
Okay. How are you doing now?
It's a little better.
I'm not buying it.
You're not what?
I'm not buying it.
It's a little better.
Yeah. Well,
but it's still there.
Yeah. I think it's there more than maybe even you think, okay? So, but I don't know that for sure, okay? I'm just
guessing.
See, here's what's happened. We've dealt with one specific event. The dirty look movie. That specific event doesn't seem to bother you. That contributor seems to be out of the way. We have dealt with other things having to do with your jaw. That seems to be down now. Okay, these are all contributors to it. Now when you come up to I shouldn't be here, we didn't get behind that. But do I perceive what you mean by that is I don't deserve to live, or is it some other meaning?
Yeah.
Okay. Therein lies a whole general thing, okay? It likely is still connected with Mother.
Mm-hmm.
Would you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so the thing that this is the kind of thing where it requires more sessions and more
Mm-hmm.
specific events. So what I need to do here for you, well, first of all, I want to take the edge off and bring it down.
Yeah.
Okay. So even though I'm a little worked up right now,
I'm a little what?
I'm a little anxious right now.
Oh, even though I'm a little anxious right now,
I deeply, completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This anxiety,
This anxiety,
this anxiety.
this anxiety,
Keep going.
this anxiety, this anxiety, this anxiety, this anxiety, this anxiety, this anxiety.
Seems better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What we did was just took the edge off,
Yeah.
kind of bring you down, and that's really good for people watching in to understand that you can do that. Typically, bring someone down, because we just opened up a box that is going to take more time than we have. But what I need to do is to give you a path to run on from this point forward. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's one of the simple paths we have in EFT, and that is to find other specific events, probably around your mother, where you had you had fear, you had self-talk like, I don't deserve to be here, and so on. And use EFT on a few rounds until that comes down to something really small, zero, on that specific event. Okay?
Yes.
And then you do another one. And then you do another one. And another one. And after a while, what will happen is you'll have a hard time finding the specific events. You'll have a hard time finding the emotional response.
But I don't have specific events. That's the problem.
Then,
what if I don't remember specific events?
Okay, then make them up.
Okay.
That may sound fictitious, like, gee, why would I make it up? But it's coming from you. I had you do that in a way earlier when I had you imagine your mother's most hateful look.
Yes.
You were making it up.
Okay.
So you can make up a time you were in the bedroom, make up a time you were in the backyard, make up a time you were in the car. You can remember times with your mother and just make up an event right there where she said something to you with that look. And you keep doing this one by one by one, and after a while, you won't get 10s or 8s on these things. You'll have a hard time finding a 3 or a 2 or a 1. And after a while, it'll just be boring to you.
Yes.
And then notice what happens with your face and the redness.
Yes.
Okay. But that's the path to run on. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Denise. I thank you so much. This is going to be a lot of help to a lot of people. Very nice.
I hope so.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Gary.
All right. Bye.
Bye.